I wanna be a billionaire. I ain't getting no sleep till I see a milli every week. I wanna be a billionaire. I ain't getting no sleep till I see a billy every week. I wanna be a billionaire. Billionaire, I wanna be a billionaire. Billionaire, I wanna be a billionaire. I ain't getting no sleep till I see a billy every week.
Fuck are you questioning?
Don't make promises that you can keep, Papi.
I'm a man of my word.
Everything is unfolding pretty organically.
Y'all know what? It's getting late. Let's get going.
He must got you whipped, huh?
Nice to meet you.
So you know she got a man and what, you just don't care?
Mark, what's going on with you? Have you been drinking again?
You strutting around all done up and shit like you putting on a fucking show for them.
Ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? Welcome to another episode of Sleepers for Billionaires, the podcast. I am your host, Jonni Vegaz. Now today, I got four amazing creators in front of me today. Oh my God, I attended their premiere of the new film, Another Love Story, yesterday, and I was blown away. Not only by the film, but just the fact that they got that done in 8 days. Jesus Christ, you got the animals. So without further ado, you guys introduce yourself. We can start to the left.
How are you? Isadora Ortega.
Hey y'all, my name is Jennifer Marie.
Brandon Morrison.
Awesome. Well, you guys, congratulations. Yesterday was, wow. The film itself, has a great message, highlighting domestic violence awareness. I want to hear, what inspired the film, first of all? Isadora.
So the film is based on my best friend from childhood. She was killed 5 years ago, and it was a suicide murder situation. I think that's what it's called. So he killed her and then killed himself. And the way that the relationship kind of evolved is they knew each other for less than a year. Everything got really steamy, really hot, and she was dead in less than a year. So I feel like art allows you to heal, and I feel like this was the best way of remembering her and maybe helping someone else. I had no idea how domestic violence was such a big issue, and the more that we did work and research and like dig into it, and like we noticed that it's an issue worldwide. Like it's so intertwined with like mental health, and that's something else that we highlighted in the film. We just wanted to tell a story that meant something and it can help someone, and in that same process kind of heal the loss,
Understood, yeah, it definitely was a compelling message. Mr. Director, what was it like, bringing this vision to life? What obstacles did you have to encounter and overcome internally and externally? Because it's such a deep topic, so tell us about that.
Yeah. Isadora, she brought this story to me. I really wasn't trying to be the writer and director of it. I was trying to outsource that and find someone who could tell that story better, because I don't have any experience with dealing with anyone like that, or this isn't a story that I know that much about. So the main thing was doing research to figure out who are the people that are affected by this, and what are their stories, so that I can draw some inspiration from that.
And why do they stay, and how do they hide
the
things?
people that are not in that, we don't understand how you even get in that. So it's figuring out the mindset behind the people that are survivors.
Mm-hmm. Sure. And what did you guys? That's an interesting point. What did you discover when you was trying to get into the mind of someone that was in that mental mind frame? Because some people could attach it to mental health. Some people could attach it to just mom not being there or dad not being there. You know what I'm saying? Or anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so we did want to give some depth to the character that does the abuse, to kind of touch on the things that like what things lead to this. Not that we want to put any excuses out there, but no one ever touches on like, okay, what could this person be going through internally. So yeah, just also communicating, and Kenneth helped develop that as well by him doing research as an actor to bring out like, okay, what would this person be like and what would make them be this way? But we wanted to touch on mental illness and yeah, there is a little bit about like his mom being an issue too.
Manipulation, you have to like, there's a lot of manipulation. I feel like there's a lot of games, mind games.
Narcissism.
There's a lot of characteristics in that type of behavior. The abuser has a lot of that behavior. It's a mind game. It's you know, whether you justify with with mental health or not, there's always an excuse why. So it's never their fault why they're hitting you. It's something that you did. And it's always being put on the other person. And when you feel like you're the cause, you start believing, I deserve this. I'm doing something to be heard. So I need to like adjust myself. And you know, if the person is a good looking woman, let me just make myself less. So I don't, you know, trigger him. Not knowing that that person is always gonna be triggering.
Right. Kenneth, my man, I mean, whew, what was it like taking on this role? I mean, I'm glad you did the research like he highlighted, which is great as an actor. I want to talk about that, but just talk to me about the decision making on taking this role.
Oh man, so really it didn't really take much. Once one of the producers, Carol, reached out to me, she sent me the script and I got to read it. It made me really think about and research how many cases, murder and suicide cases, are connected to mental health and domestic violence. Like, and it's not talked about enough. And that's the thing. It's just so, once I realized how much it's not getting that light at all. People don't really dive into domestic violence, the scars that don't heal, hurt people, that sort of thing. It's like, that's what really made me want to connect more to the character.
I got you. Okay. Now, give me your name one more time. Hello? Jennifer. Now, you were that support factor. You was the rider. Yeah. Like, if he touch you, I'm going to blow his face off. You always need that.
In real life, too.
Right. I see it already.
Even on set, I felt that. Like,
that was the first thing we talked about.
That's the home. That's the mindset.
You need that.
Keep the bricks in the trunk.
Yeah, I call her Solange. She's my Solange. You pop up in the elevator, she's ready.
So I got an interesting question for you because your role in the film was definitely impactful, definitely supportive. But there's a lot of friends like you, but then there's not. There's a lot of people that ignore what's going on with their friends. You know what I'm saying? I kind of want to highlight that, why you take on the role of being the supportive person versus the one who kind of ignored it.
Yeah, so I think this one, first and foremost, these two decided to create Tiffany, as Isadora has shared before, because we needed that little comic relief too, but also that person is real. And in her life, I think I'm actually that person for her. Minus the abuse part, but like I am that kind of friend. And you're right, there's not enough people who wouldn't, even if you are a good friend, some people just aren't bold enough to speak out about things that are wrong, whether it be their mate doing it to them or somebody else. And I've always been like the protector or the advocate for people. I mean, I'm an activist. I don't like to see people treated wrong. So being able to play a role and incorporate that in my personality, my heart for people, I think that was important. But hopefully, based on how they did this gives anybody, even a quiet person, like empowering them to say, no, somebody needs to say something. Let them know we see you. You're not getting away with this. I love how the other friend in the film you guys see, she was also supportive. She still said something as well. But I think just that little edge of a friend, the one that you know, she might shoot you. You know, she might cut you. Yeah, so it's easier to carry a knife around.
My friends don't fight, but I do.
Yeah, it's for real. And usually, depending on your neighborhood, you kind of have that friend. And so, I mean, You might not see a lot of domestic violence in that relationship if you have that friend that's down to fight. We don't want to have to fight the man, but we will. So I just pray that even if you're not the person that's going to be like a fighter, fight for them in another way. You know, figure out how to help them be bold enough to leave and keep them with you if you need to. Like, stay at my house. I used to watch these movies a lot as a kid. I know this probably sounds crazy, but I was really into Lifetime movies. And that was something that would frustrate me. It's like, why won't somebody just take them away? And I know we're learning, based on this movie, we're learning that they don't always want to leave. But it's like, you just wish that somebody would save them and just have the boldness to take them out of the hands of the abuser, whether it be a child being abused or the woman or man even in some cases being abused. Like, somebody help them. Just take them out of it and let them know they can really stay with you. They can really come and you will really help them get out of this. It's not always going to a shelter. Sometimes it could be family or friends, but there's obviously several layers to that. And that's one reason why I was grateful to be Tiffany. I really, really was.
Tiffany was rooting for her.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So she was.
I want to, in the ending, I mean, that was something, I know you guys should talk about this part, but even the way the end happened and, you know, she cocked the gun and went, I would love, could you guys share, is that something you could tell on what you planned on doing with the ending?
No, we cannot. Because it gives a movie.
Y'all, okay, yeah, because that's right. After the movie comes out, then those interviews. I guess those are the ones we need to say. Yeah. It's so good. So be ready to watch the movie. Okay, yeah.
We'll be in a lot of platforms in March. March is going to be a big month.
I definitely could see this on like BET Lifetime, so congrats on that alone. Just being able to see it there, it's like huddle in the
That was a whole thing too.
So yeah, going to this accomplishment 8 days. I need to hear this because it made me look at myself like, yo, I'm BS. I got all these contents I'm trying to film. It takes me, they sit on itself for like 2 years, and you guys did it in 8 days. So thanks for making me feel like.
No, this is called conviction.
It's low key, like it's sanity. You know, you even try to like attempt something like that, you know, but that's kind of like in the mindset that you have to be if you want to like be. So yeah, 8 days. It was aggressive. It was aggressive. It was crazy.
I mean, we shot during.
COVID
was really here.
That was
the heat of COVID.
Yeah. So just this is a union project. So just dealing with SAG, AFTRA, and COVID, in the middle of COVID is like. So we have to make sure that we have a COVID. What was it? COVID.
Their COVID
compliance officer. So making sure that everyone was doing their tests, everybody was getting temperature. Like there's things that. We had a situation, like not a situation, but we couldn't test on time, and our test came like right when we were shooting, and we were like, we're committed.
Just fires after fires.
I was just putting out fires after fire. We were just waiting for this. We started shooting, and they came back, and they were negative, so we were all good. But but things happen. Like you're in the middle of everything is planned, and your test results are not back, and you're just like, let's shoot. Dealing with all this different aspect. You shoot out of sequence. So we were shooting location. We're not shooting, this moment, this scenes. Let's just shoot.
The scheduling of all of that.
All of that was crazy. Like the fact that we did not miss a shot I'm amazed.
I will say though, even with like the prep that you guys playing, because we did table reads. Kenneth wasn't in LA. I think that's something else that you guys should really be excited about as the castmate and as talent, to just know that all I need to do is come in and know my lines. And it was just like I wanted to make sure I knew my stuff because of what you just said. 8 days, people coming from out of town during COVID, you just have to be on your stuff. So I want to just shout out these two lead characters who not only were you physically going in, but like to be on a book, to be ready to roll in the middle of COVID, and to watch it all come to pass, I'm just as blown away as you are. I was saying the same thing, like, woo, you got to get your life together when somebody pulls something like this off. So it's that kind of incredible to me to work with y'all.
Just to backpack off of that, like that's how it was for me. Just coming here from out of town, seeing how everybody seems so paired and and just ready and diligent about the work, and was just so ready on the day. We only got 8 days to shoot this, to see everybody moving, man. It was just, it was inspiring to see, and we really got it done.
You learn to be resourceful. You learn to like which ways are the most efficient, like because we don't have that much time to waste. It's like we got to shoot everything here for 3 days and leave everything here and be here on time. So you just learn to be resourceful. You learn how to like finesse the budget to like, okay, we only got this much to work with, so how can we get something for low or for free or whatever? Like you figure it out. Like the hustle is really like the hustle.
Get a good first AD.
Okay.
You need a good first AD. You need, and we had a great one. You know, so I'm just, we need someone to just keep you on track.
It's the time.
It's
when they say time is money, this is the people do that.
And like, and something in pre-production, people don't realize, like if you just prepare before production, then you don't have to be preparing during production.
Yeah.
That's how you, like, that's
it sounds simple, but,
yeah,
like,
but
not everyone does it.
Yeah, when you're doing like independent projects, pre-production will save your life because we don't have time, we don't have money. So realistically, we just need to be ready not to be solving issues that should have been solved prior during production.
How long was this film, like, not how long was the film, but from when the idea came about to do the film to when you got to 8 days, what was that time frame? Like, was that a year, 2 years? What?
3 years.
3 years.
3 years.
3 years from when we first wrote the project to when we actually like till today.
And then we were supposed to shoot. We shot it this year, 2021. It was supposed to be shot 2020, and then November, and then October, and then December, and then push. But I feel like everything works out the way that it needs to work out because we mentioned that every actor that we tried to get, they were not having it. Like male actors, they were like, no. You know, I don't know what the Me Too movement had to do with. They didn't want to take the role, but they were like,
they don't want to get canceled.
I think after we got so many no's, that's kind of when it kind of died down because we were like, we wrote it and then we were like trying to cast it and then we weren't getting the people that we wanted, so then we just kind of, it sat for like a year. And then she calls me out of the blue. She's like, hey, remember that thing we wrote? Like, let's do it again. I'm like, okay.
Let's add more pages.
Then we rewrite it, we add more pages, and then we get the perfect people.
So did you guys pick Kenneth for the role, or was he the only one that said yes?
No.
By that time,
we had two.
A few more guys.
We had two people.
No, because Carol brought two, and then you had brought two.
Yeah, but my two were just not having it either. But Miss Carol, our other producer, she sent me two guys, which it was Kenneth and someone else that I'm not gonna mention. And they were both, they fit the part. And then I looked at his work and I looked at the other guy's work and I was just like, I want him. And then I was like, Miss Carol, go. Let's find out what's going on. And you know, I don't think his manager wanted him to like really jump on it.
Ooh, not at
What was
first.
that like?
Not at first.
Let's talk about that now.
Oh, we have to.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, we need that.
It's respectfully some hesitation when you read about a character like this. But
Male, female?
I guess as a male, just beating on women, like nobody wants to, see to have that under their belt. But there was talk about like the Me Too. It's funny y'all said that because I was actually mentioning like the whole Me Too response. But that's not something that bothers me. I invite anybody to get to know me, who I am as an individual. So if you just understand that that's a character that I'm portraying, who's based on a real person, I'm not like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you the chance to know I'm not like that. So that didn't bother me.
That's definitely gonna open up a lot of doors for you, because being that a lot of people won't take on that role, and you flawless victory, brother.
I mean, seriously.
We all human. We all got stories to tell. It's just like, why not? If you're able, why not?
And that's what it is, it's storytelling.
Yeah.
That's what
It is storytelling, but
remember.
people need to keep that line really, clear.
Yeah.
It's an actor.
But at the same time, when he kills the role so good, you hate him on scene.
Yeah,
that's what you want.
Well, he did?
No, yeah, for sure.
That's
You
what
want
I'm
to boom. I don't know what you said earlier though. You said something about when you took the role. To me, what he just said, that was perfect. Like regardless of whoever thought it wasn't a good idea, the answer you gave, which I wish it's not coming to me, but you were talking about telling that story, and I know people are, I'm all for, I'm a feminist, so like, duh. But it's like, I appreciate anybody that want to tell a passion. This is a heart project. It confuses me as an artist to understand why that would be the reason that you don't take it. You know, I don't get that. I actually, it kind of the exact opposite would be my heart if I'm not to disrespect anybody else as an artist, but as a true artist, I just go back to Lawrence Fishburne. I mean, if you a Tina Turner anime book like I was, the role he played as Ike Turner, I don't know that it got any more, oh my God, to see something on screen than him and Angela Bassett. And I mean, you know, I'm not calling you Lawrence, but I'm gonna tell you this. I feel like you were in that realm if you need to take that and receive it, because whoever didn't think it was a good idea to do, because you chose it, the range that you have, in my opinion, is insane. I mean, I know her range because I saw her work, but I saw like snippets of yours, and now I see you as this man on screen and did something to tell a story that is a true story. If we just read the statistics of people who kill themselves after they kill the person they've been abusing all this time, it is so important, but a lot of times we don't want to see that stuff. That's why people are like, no, I ain't doing that, I don't want to see, or we laugh. They laugh at the Tiffany in the movie so much so that they don't have to pay attention to the fact that somebody is being abused and it was murder. We don't want to face reality. That's why comedy is so popular. I'm just saying, even as a comedian, I still understand how we make people laugh to keep them crying.
It's a coping mechanism.
Healing.
Yeah. We had somebody else in mind for the role of Lily. And her manager told her not to play the role too. And I'm like, I was like, okay.
It just blows my mind. I feel like it's advocacy. Like, we get the opportunity to be an advocate for domestic violence victims in the form of film. I mean, you see it with child molestation. You see it with sex trafficking. Yep. There's all these different routes that we express ourselves through television and film. Like, what's the difference if you're playing the role? The story has to be told, because some people can't hear it unless they see it. So we can write it on paper all day long, but you won't receive it until you actually see it happen. That's what kind of blows my mind. So again, kudos.
Oh, and another point. So then we got Kenneth, and then our budget was a little tempered. so we were supposed to shoot, I think, February, right? And then the budget was not complete. I was like, ooh, okay, alrighty. So Miss Carol, can you go and talk to, Kenneth and his people? And I was like, and then it was moved like 3 times, and I was like, oh, we're about to lose him. And I was like, I called him, I was like, hey, so I really want you to play this role. Can you please don't go away? And he was like, I'm here. So
I was with him. When I said yes the first time, I was committed. So if there was a way that we could find to work everything out, we did. We made it happen.
That's what's up. Okay. Was it uncomfortable, during the love making scenes, dealing with a married woman?
I wouldn't say it's uncomfortable, because I understand I'm a professional, she's a professional. It's not really uncomfortable, but you have to make sure the other person is comfortable. And there was a lot of trust there. Like we shot it in 8 days. We didn't have a lot of time to get to know each other. That's a lot of space you cover between 2 people in a short amount of time. But no,
we didn't have an intimacy coordinator. We coordinated ourselves. And it worked.
We went through simple beats, like we talking through with Brandon. We knew what we needed to hit each beat throughout the scene. So once we worked through that, we filled in the blanks. I mean, we're adults. We've been in those situations, so.
Yeah, just the type of film that this is, like the chemistry is like the most important thing, because these 2 characters are in the whole movie. Like every scene is one or both of them. So like we didn't have that many days, but we took advantage of the days that we had. Like Kid came in maybe like 2 days early, and we were there. Like as soon as he got there, we're rehearsing. We're just hanging out so that we could get to know each other and be familiar enough to be able to touch each other and not feel weird. So I give kudos to them for just like bringing that chemistry to the set the first day, because we didn't really have time to waste for it to be awkward and not be able to like get the delivery that we needed. So
communication was important. You know, it was just, it's two adults that are going to embark on very intimate scenes, and we need to feel comfortable. And there was scenes that we had to address, and it was just like, okay, so if I'm doing this, how will you hold me? You hold me here, you hold me there, you hold me here. Okay, cool. Now I know that when this is happening, it feels normal. We've been here. Like, and that's how I worked it in my brain. Like, we've been here. This is the type of relationship that we have. When he grabbed me, if you see the film, there's always there's a touch, because Miriam is very his, and that's what I told him. I was like, it's yours, she's yours. So he always has a hand on her.
So that's a cool
touch, and that was the sense of belonging. So, you know, it worked.
Wow. Well said. Collectively, that was a very professional answer. That's awesome. So what's the plan? You got the content, it's produced, done, clean. Where's it going? When's the money coming in? I need 2%.
These are the questions that everyone wants to know, and this is what you learn as a filmmaker, like in the industry, like the business side. And then we all want to be in the show business, but everyone knows about the show part of it, but no one knows about the business part of it, right? So, I mean, the first step is make a film, put it in the can. Now you have a product, right? And then now you got to figure out how you're going to shop it and market it and like get it.
Guys, remember post-production. Just remember post-production is
pre and post.
Pre and post is just out like.
Well, we skipped over that step. We just went pre-production, production. Okay, now we got it. We're in sales.
Yeah. So just keep your eye out for, you know what, keep a budget, because once you produce, and advice. If somebody tells you fix it in post,
I was about to say that.
Don't, first of all, unless they're giving you the money to fix it in post, do your job on the set.
There we go.
Do your job, because you're messing with my funds now. Right. And now I have to fix in post-production, what you did not do in production, because you didn't do your job. And that's not like, and we faced a few of those issues, and they were not even acceptable. So it's like, those are things that should have never happened, that we had to fix post. And when you're fixing something that is going to cost you $5,000, you're like, oh, okay, is this out of your budget or mine? And that's how, you know, I'm an artist, but I'm a businesswoman, and I don't like people messing with my money.
For the people who want to get into this business and, you know, they produce the content, they got it ready packaged, now they don't know what to do, right? So who do they have to have in place to shop this around? Do you have your own connects? You just call and, hey, Warner Brothers, I got some content you want to see. Like, what is that process like?
You want to get distribution. You want to get signed with a distributor.
You want a distributor that can place it in different platforms, ideally, you know?
And that process is contacting
getting placement,
showing it to them. Oh, so it's a numbers game at that point.
Contacting or
and I would just also like to say network. If you know people that have already put projects out there, you might have to ask and say. I mean, everybody's not gonna try to give you their plug. We already know that, unfortunately. But I say unfortunately because you see it in other communities, but you don't necessarily see it in our community. And I wish we did it more, because then we might be able to involve a little more. But either way, if you know somebody, you just don't know. Shoot on, put it on Facebook. Some people work in these companies you would never even know. They might be working in the diversity department for whatever reason and not know the person that's working over. I just found that out recently, and I'm like, oh shoot, one of my people know. You just never know how things come out. So
yeah, if you're running into like roadblocks getting distribution, like don't let that stop you. Kind of like you gotta. We come from independent, like we've been independent, like content creators, so we know how we can take advantage of what you can do on YouTube or how you can monetize if you want to just have your own platform and send people there to subscribe to it, or buy a subscription or
direct sale. Yeah. But you have friends. Network with your friends. Like, so we were able. I believe I'm a big film festival individual. I feel like you have to hit the market in every way you can. Don't be just, it's this way or the highway. Film festivals will help you get distribution too. Mm-hmm. And I say this, like we had a web series, Killer Babe, and I put it after it was released on a film festival. And a year after, a distributor got in contact with us. They want to re-release it. And they're like, we'll give you advance money. I was like, wait, advance money?
If you don't have no network to like get your own distribution, the festivals give you that outlet because
they're looking for content.
The distributors attend these festivals, so then they'll see your project and hit you up like they did with her.
And just help your friends. That's what I'm gonna say. It's like we can all eat.
Right.
Like it's not like your film is not gonna overshadow the other film. Like help your friends, because the distributor that we're going to go for Another Love Story was referred by a friend that I have that he's a filmmaker. Mm-hmm. He was like, I know where we put it. Let me just set you up. So he set up the meeting. He sat through the meeting, mm-hmm. And I was like, the distributor was like, thank you for bringing this project. We're just really happy. They did really good for him. He got his money already like 3 times. I was like, oh, you got your budget 3 times. Numbers. So yeah, help your, like if you get an opportunity, pass it along.
Yeah, I'll let you right back.
Yeah.
What was the budget for this, if you don't mind me asking?
90 something, 100.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. I was like, damn, that's like it's not 100.
We want to get that back like 3 or 4 times.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
10. There we go. We're on the same page.
100x.
10. Not with you.
Oh man, well that's awesome, guys. Well, I wish you guys the best of luck. Anything I can do to help with my resources, let me know. I know we better know each other. We know each other a little bit, so it's like whatever I can do to help, let me know. You guys have been great. Thank you for coming on the show. And let the people know where they can see this movie. Can you release that information that we talked about?
No, because it have not been released
to us. We'll make an announcement.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let the people know where they can follow you.
Oh, yeah.
You can follow me on Instagram, @Kenneth Wayne.
La Black Latina, LA Black Latina.
And I'm Girl Talk with J. Marie. So GYRL. Girl Talk with J. Marie.
And I am B More.
I am B More.
That's what's up. Girl Talk. You need you on the show, girl.
She got her.
That is my podcast, Girl Talk with J. Marie. So we have an episode about this as well. So y'all make sure y'all keep your eyes out on all these people because everybody doing something. But Another Love Story. You said it times 10 now.
Yes.
100x, baby. 100x. It's coming to fruition. Man, this has been another episode of Sleepers for Billionaires, the podcast. Make sure you follow these guys. Make sure you watch this movie when the announcement comes out. I'm excited for you guys. I can't wait. I saw the film and I'm super impressed. So great job. Stay tuned for another episode to come. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you copy some of that good old Sleepers for Billionaire merch. Stay tuned for more episodes to come. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.
I wanna be a billionaire. I ain't getting no sleep till I see a milli every week. I wanna be a billionaire. I ain't getting no sleep till I see a Billy every week. I wanna be a billionaire. Billionaire, I wanna be a billionaire. Billionaire, I wanna be a billionaire. I ain't getting no sleep till I see a Billy every week. I ain't gonna make a friend, I just came to handle business. Had too many dreams.